Hey, what's up and welcome back to part 3, where we're now going to unwrap the actual handle here. Now, this handle is going to be fairly easy actually, because most of this is on the same, or I should say all of it is on the same smoothing group. Okay, so we can just create this as just one simple unwrap. Okay, now there's going to be a few areas that I'm going to point out here when dealing with this, but it should be fairly straightforward anyway. So let's add the unwrap UVW and let's go to the UV editor. Again, I'm going to turn off this normalize map here, and I'm simply going to select the polygon mode down here. I'm going to press Ctrl and A to select all. And once we have done that, what I can do is go back to this planar and let's find the correct axis here. Okay, so we have the right axis here. Now, there's a few things that we need to look at when dealing with this. So first of all, let's just relax this a little. So let's just choose relax. Okay. Now, here's what we need to look at. Generally, or in most cases, places like this corner here, we would do something like split the edge, okay, and this would allow for a better relax and ultimately a better UV. So let me just give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. If I go back to the materials and we drag on our checker map here, what you'll notice here in the corner is that there's this stretching. Okay, so we get it here, and we would get it along the bottom here, and in the corners, and so on and so forth. Now, this is not really an issue in this model, and the reason being is that there's going to be nothing here that's going to be baked, and as this knife, as you've seen in the concept, is just flat colors, then we don't really need to worry too much about this. Now, if we wanted to, we could, you know, if we'd like sit here and try to make this a little bit more equal and go through and do that. Okay, so you know, we can move these around, but as I said, normally we may split this along here, but I'm not going to be doing that today. Now, this is on the same smoothing group, so I'm not really too bothered where that there's a little bit of distortion here, and there's like some distortion there that I'd like to fix. Okay, so let's see. Let us loop this, and actually we'll just go with something like this. Okay, and we'll just shrink this in a little, and if I choose, let's see, if I choose grow, we can pull this in and move this, and we can do that grow again. Now, because there's not much detail here, okay, except for the fact that this moves in, then we don't need to worry too much about this. Maybe a little bit of concern here, where we have this area that gets a little bit messed up. So let's go ahead and deal with that. So what I'm going to do here is move these around, just like so. So we want to try and keep this equal in terms of the width that is there. So let's go through and check this, and you see we need to deal with it here and here, and this is just because that smooth is not that relax is not perfect. Okay, so you know, you may have to go through and deal with these issues time to time. Sometimes you may choose a different relax type. In this case, I think it would have made a worse job. So I'm just gonna, leave that initial relax how it is, and then just go through and deal with these manually here. So I guess this is about it that we get into here. Okay, so as I said, I do understand that there's going to be some stretching, and for some people, you may not want that. So you may want to break them. And what I mean by break is, let me give you an example. If I select these and then right click and then choose break, and then I did that relax again, then what you would get is that these edges would move over here and those would move up there, and giving a much more equal relax here. So there's still a little bit of distortion here. Maybe this is just to do with the camera or the angle. So there is just a slight little bit of distortion, but I'm not too worried about that. You can see that we have essentially or almost cleaned up this section here. So let's jump back into here. Okay, so you see this is the problem here, so we need to move this out. Let's go back to vertex and pull these out. Okay, and we can do the same here on the inside, just so it's not so close together. It should yield a little bit better result. So let's go through and do that. Okay. Alright, so let's see what's going on here. Is this just where there's a... Okay, yeah, no, that's just where there's a transition going on. So you can see we have fairly equal here, fairly equal checkers. There is a few areas of distortion, but I'm not really going to bother about that at this moment. So let's jump ahead and get this ready for baking. So there's just one last thing I want to do here. I want to apply this, and I want to select this pattern knife. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go convert to editable poly, and we're going to attach these two together, which is okay. And then we're going to add this UVW unwrap on top again, and this is what we'll get. A mess, I know, but let's deal with this. Let's select this entire handle here. Okay, so let's scale this down. Let's bring this inside the actual UV space. Okay, so scale this up just a little bit. Okay, we want to maximize the amount of space we have here to use. So let's pull this down and do something like this, and we can pull this up. Okay, so this is what we end up with. We end up with this all nice and neatly unwrapped. Cool, so we only need this one half here, because we're just going to mirror this on the other side, and I understand that logo will be back to front, and there are ways around that. We can make these UVs a little smaller and start flipping the normals and stuff like that, but for now this is essentially everything we need so far. So I'm gonna stop the video here, and in the next video we're actually going to get up and running with actually starting to bake this out. So until then, I'll see you in the next video.